Welcome to week. It doesn't matter. Thanks for tuning in to Analytics Are for the Nerds. Happy to see you guys. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up.
That was good, right? That was good.
It was good. That was solid. And
It doesn't matter. Look at us, everyone. Welcome back. We are back after the big game that happened in football that no one cares about anymore. How great is that? How are we feeling?
it does feel like forever ago.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even when we started today, I was like, oh, we should probably at least mention the game because we've been on we haven't been on since, but it feels like that was a year ago.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. I just want to catch up. I haven't seen you guys, I think, in at least a week. Ryan, how are you? You had a big sports weekend, big draft.
Yeah, first draft of the 2024 season already. Best ball for next year, the February Fix 7 draft. Mike Shope hosts this, and Mike Christensen, the two-time winner, had us at the draft room, speakeasy attached to the draft room. I don't know if that's the actual name or not, but great night. And yeah, it's already good to get back out into the best ball streets, as they call them.
Was there a lot of what was the big highlight? Like any player, a lot of like good rumbling for next season? Anything?
The highlight of my night, which is very fitting for how I typically draft, is I ended the draft with, I think it's 10 straight rookies. So I went rookie heavy. I do think that as a prelude to perhaps some of the conversation we'll have later, I think there's a lot of value to be had at certain positions in the early rounds of these best ball drafts when there's so much uncertainty. And I thought I tried to capitalize on that now and hope with some landing spot help and draft capital, in April, that it'll help my team. It was a top 3 finish, I think, this past year. So start over again. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, rookie heavy for my squad this year.
I love it. I know as everyone's a draft person who's generally listening to this podcast, they're all type A personalities. So if you're freaking out now that you haven't done a draft yet, Ryan just put the flame under you. So thanks, Ryan, for making everyone develop acid reflux already. So thanks for that.
Happy to help.
Yeah, Louis, you had a good week, and I think you were doing a comedy. You're back on the mic, right? You were out of town.
Yeah. I headlined a show in Canada. I got a really funny story about this. So this is it. Just I know friends of mine are like this. Why is there another Louis story? Why is it always a Louis story? But it just is. So I didn't totally read my Airbnb whole thing, and when I get there, it turns out it was a bed and breakfast. So I come in and it's, I'm in someone else's house. It's this old lady, very nice. And she's so sweet, like greets you at the door with cookies, like the most genuine old lady thing that the husband or the boyfriend sitting on the couch watching the TV. It's perfect. It's just, they're the Connors. And so then, and then I didn't realize that there's another couple staying there, and we have to share a bathroom upstairs, me and this other couple. And there's 2 rooms upstairs. It's us 2, and it's this guy, and it's this old woman. And I totally messed up my Airbnb, but whatever. It was right in the middle of town. I changed clothes. I talked with them. I told them why I was there. They all were like, "Oh, we're gonna come to the show." I was like, "Cool, see you then." Like whatever, it'd be awesome. And then I went to a few different places. Went to go check out town. Go to the show. The first comic is on stage doing his jokes, and there's this drunk lady screaming at him, like, and I was like, I gotta take care of this now because I don't want this to be a whole thing. So I go up to her, I go, "Ma'am, you have to stop talking. Like, you can't talk during a comedy show." And I look at her, and it was my Airbnb host, the old lady, screaming. So she is blitzed. blitz hammered. And I'm like, all right. So I go, where's your boyfriend? Where's the other couple? She's like, my boyfriend went to a hockey game. That other couple, something happened, so they had to leave. So they left. She's like, so I just got drunk. And I have seen these Netflix documentaries. Like, I'm nervous now. Like, wait, we don't know where the boyfriend is. The other couple just happen to be there. You're hammered. Like, I don't know what to do right now with you, but just shut the fuck up. Rest of the show, she's talking and, being a regular drunk person, fine. Go up, she heckles a little bit, but nothing brutal. And we got and she's
time out. Did she heckle you like, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep? Like that kind of
well, if you could tell what she was saying, it would be you couldn't. She was so drunk, she was slurring. Okay. So now I get off stage and I have a random buddy who wasn't even at the show. Like, don't live in Canandaigua, hit me up. Whatever. Long story short, him and I are sitting at the bar with another two comedians. We're the only 4 people left in the building. What I thought. She is on my left shoulder. It's last call. It's past last call. I'm just waiting to get paid to get out of here. She's on my shoulder, drunk, going, where are we going after this? So now I don't know what to do because my Airbnb host, she's also like, an old lady by herself, hammered. I don't really. So here I am, walking her down the street by her arm to the next bar that can I get home. It was a college bar. They were singing karaoke. The funny thing is this woman's hammered. I'm scared about her, but I also was like, yo, real quick, let me do the Humpty dance. And so I'm just singing karaoke while this is all going on. My buddy who came to meet me was like, dude, she is ripped. You got to get out of here. You got to get away from her. And I was like, all right, I agree, but I just feel bad. Like, what is she going to do to me later? Like, is she going to get mad? Is she going to lock the door? But he was like, you could sleep at my place. Just come on. So he leads me up this back door to ditch her at this place. I go out the rest of the night. I come home. I go back to the Airbnb. I sneak in. Everyone seems to be sleeping. No one's around. I get into bed. I lock my door, fall asleep. I wake up in the morning and I haven't gone downstairs yet for this breakfast. The breakfast in the whole review is why I was saying, like, it was like, oh, breakfast is great. So I'm like, I'm going to eat this breakfast. I don't give a shit who's it's awkward for. I'm going to eat the breakfast. So, but before I could leave my room, I opened my phone and I got messages from one of the comics that were at the karaoke bar. It was like, yo, your Airbnb host got kicked out last night for starting a bar fight. This is a 62-year-old woman who is the sweetest. Like, she bakes cookies. Like, it's so crazy. So now I have to go downstairs and face her, and I don't know who else is down there. Did the other couple come back? Was she lying about that? So I go downstairs, and just the boyfriend sitting at the table. So I sit down. I'm like, again, I'm eating my omelet. So she comes out like the fucking psycho as she is with like 2 plates, sits them down in front of us both, sits down, and she goes, I think I might owe you an apology for last night. And I was like, nope, everything was fine. I don't know what you're talking about. You seem cool. Gotta go.
Whoa.
Let me tell you, the omelet was bomb.
Listen, I honestly think that we need to, the 3 of us, come up with a script with a very dark turn on all of these stories that you just told us and pitch it to Jordan Peele to come up with a movie. And I think he could make it really, really good.
Honestly, that's where my fucked up head went. Like, I'm like, this bitch is going to kill me in my sleep. And so it was so weird. I mean, when I was walking her down the street, I remember she looked at me. I mean, she couldn't even say words, but I did get this. She asked me if I ever wanted to sleep with one of my mom's friends. It's like, well, I don't even think my mom's your age, dude. So gross. So gross.
I'm confused why 62 is an little old lady, but if you mean just right?
Yeah, sorry. It doesn't work the other way around.
Yeah, Listener, I like older gentlemen. So yeah, when he's like old person, I'm like, I don't know, 90, 94. Yeah. Well, we are all glad you came home, and we think one piece. We just see you from the shoulders up in our videos. But what if you can like come in and you're sitting like a George Jackson thing?
Both my legs are just wrapped. Just like.
That's so good. That's so good. At least you got the bathroom to yourself at the end of the night.
It just turns into she's Kathy Bates from Misery. That's what I'm picturing right now.
No one has us. That is so fantastic. I'm really happy for you. And also Ryan, congratulations for talking sports on this.
Yeah.
So.
And it was 8 straight rookies. Sorry, not 10. I got to correct myself. 8 straight.
So good. So we're gonna do another week of everything and nothing with me, and sometimes it's interesting things, other times it's not. We're gonna do a couple things. So one is there is a new celebrity that has just joined OnlyFans, and I think with a lot of fantasy football people here, buckle up, guys and gals. John Cena has joined the chat. John Cena has just joined OnlyFans, which means all of you Rustler Dude fanatics are super hard. So, what do you guys think about John Cena? Just Ryan, you now want to subscribe to John?
I am not the wrestling guy, so I feel like I have to defer to Louis. I'm not worthy of commenting on this. So Louis, I'm going to kick it over to our wrestling correspondent.
Louis, you're a dork. What do you feel about wrestling?
Did you guys notice the mirror clock? I started the mirror clock. Did you not see that?
That's funny.
That while he's talking, we're going to keep track of the mirror clock. It's we have to keep track so he can charge us. No, I mean I'm not paying for it. When Drake's thing was out a couple weeks ago, I went searching for it because it was free. I wanted to see it, and it was. I mean, I don't want him to ever say he started from the bottom ever again. Fuck that dude. But yeah, I'm not paying to see John Cena's. What is he showing? He's not going like.
He's gonna probably show a little probably outlines, I don't know. I always that's exactly his wrestling suit. Like what
I just imagine John Cena doing the TikTok with the red lighting, just the outlines of the bodies.
Yeah, this could happen.
I think he should just follow like the internet bit of him, which is that he can't be seen in pictures. So he should just like post pictures of like a standing mirror and like just not be in the picture and just be like, yeah, I was in that. Actually, you could sell it as Cena, right? Isn't that it? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
That's the one thing I know about wrestling. And Louis is like, I have no idea what he just was talking.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to put the mirror clock on, so I was all confused.
Yeah, worried about the right thing.
I can't produce and talk at the same time.
There is a thing that a lot of comics, if not maybe 90% of comics, love wrestling. So there's it gets weird when you like have no idea, or you're like, so it's I only know enough to be like engaged, but not to say anything of importance. I just be like, oh, John Cena has a smooth package, and everyone's like, what? There are other celebrities on OnlyFans though. Let me stop if you would stop for any of these hotties. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, Coco Austin, Ice-T's a lady. Anyone? Hello? No.
No. And I know who she is.
Catherine Dennis, former cast member of Southern Charm on Bravo. Hello. Check 1 2. Okay. We've got Iggy Azalea. She's still out there.
No, Iggy. I'm not.
He shows it.
I am not paying for it. I'm not trying to sound like that white knight guy. We all know I'm a douchebag, but I will not pay for any kind of You know when I will? Hold on. I did just change my mind real quick. I think there is a difference if like one of my friends who I've always had a crush on locally gets one. I might buy that one. Just because I'm never going to want to see that in real life, but the curiosity, the mind wanders once in a while.
Okay. You're like, if it's 10, 12 in my house, then I am very interested.
But I'm not paying to see any celebrities naked. They'll eventually get some free leaks.
Yeah, well, I know. Just Google image. It's always bad. I would tell people like when someone would say, "Do you send any photos to people?" I like there's no reason to ever go into my phone because Google has way better images of like perfect people, like really beautiful. Like there's no, you don't need natural, Also, speaking of comedians, Whitney Cummings is on OnlyFans, but I guess she like just does like talks. So that's also very appealing to men, right? Guys,
I wouldn't let Whitney Cummings pay me to listen to her talk for more than an hour. That's not a girl comedian thing. That's just Whitney Cummings.
Yeah, I think she should have a LinkedIn instead.
Yeah. Speaking of listening to Whitney Cummings, Tiger King's Joe Exotic says he can turn rapper Machine Gun Kelly gay with a quote tiger and a little bit of meth. Louis, do you think that's true?
Wait, that's funny. Wait, with a little bit of meth and what is the other?
And a tiger. So, if you guys have been following, I don't know, TikTok, Machine Gun Kelly has filled in most of his tattoos, and he just looks like an alive version of Aaron Carter, who's also on OnlyFans, by the way. I saw that too on BuzzFeed. R.I.P. But so I guess Tiger King's Joe Exotic was like, wow, Machine Gun Kelly, very good looking. I can turn him gay with a tiger and a little bit of meth. So yeah, I am very confused as well.
I will say, neither of those things have ever got me hard, and I have the experience in both. And I will tell you, I don't see how that works either way. But yeah, meth's not a maybe if he said a little ecstasy in a tiger. Who knows? Maybe. I've definitely tackled some bears when I was on ecstasy. So
love it. Yeah, very. Do you guys think that when he eventually comes out of prison, that he's going to just be the most obnoxious man in the world, or like, what do you think is going to happen?
He'll probably go into politics. That's usually what you do, right?
Yeah, probably.
No, he's gonna host 4 horrible game shows on like TNT.
Oh yeah, Dancing with the Stars.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be horrible.
Yeah. Wow, I just got real sad.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about the Super Bowl for a second. We don't really need to talk about the game because we all know it flipped and turned to KC's victory, but a little fun celebrity fact is that the dog in the Budweiser Clydesdale commercial was Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's dog.
Look at you bringing in facts.
Bringing every party down. Look at me.
That information was better than anything that we could talk about for the game. Yeah. So I am totally okay with that.
Any thing you guys want to talk about? Any commercial? Any Usher? Roller skating's back, right?
I liked Usher. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I thought maybe the production could have been better, but I'm just like a sucker for those songs, right? It just brought you back. And as far as the game itself, look, I think that this often happens where, narratives are discussed at like the smallest of margins, right? And they turn on the smallest of things. Like San Francisco very easily could have won that game, and we wouldn't be talking about how Mahomes is unbeatable and such. We'd be talking about how their offense faltered down the stretch. And, yes, they got hot for a couple games, but they need a couple pieces. And, so we have to keep everything in perspective. The Bills still have a fighting chance. This is a Bills show after all. We're going to always talk about our Bills, and so it's reset on the year, and that's the way I'm looking at it. You take what you learned, your the things you were right on, the things that you missed, and you try to come up with your best approach as it comes to fantasy for next year too. For me, that's how I look at it.
Well said. Were you doing I was waiting for him to do the.
He was trying to get the ticker up, I think.
He was really trying to.
Sorry, I'm the worst.
No,
Go ahead.
Well, when you don't even do the clock, and then you're like.
Still laughing like a schoolgirl over here.
Sorry. I know it's so we're I mean I'm glad the game's over. We don't it's yeah, I know. We're gonna move on though to our top 10 dynasty quarterback list. Ryan, we're gonna go into
You got that.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so out of Caleb Williams and Drake Macy, is that what we're talking about, right? We're gonna do that.
Well, we're gonna talk about the top 10 right now first and foremost. So,
okay, so
Brian, why don't you go talk about your top 10? And I see a lot of the same names in yours there as I do in mine.
A couple of interesting points. First of all, I just am seeing your list now for the first time because I sent mine in the group earlier today. I noticed two things. Number one, I like the aggressive ranking on Caleb, and I like the move to bring Hurts all the way back to the end of that list because for a couple of reasons. Now, I'm looking at this in a couple of different ways though. I think if we're talking about real life quarterbacks, I might more agree with your list, but I'm trying to strictly look at the lens of dynasty as in who's going to be the most valuable dynasty quarterback for me. And I think that based on what we know about the scoring at this position, that the key really is that, the Konami code, I forget who coined that term. One of the analysts, it'll come to me later, but it's basically it's a cheat code. The rushing quarterback has such an advantage over the traditional quarterback. So I looked at this in the lens of, all right, I'm going to go Allen and Jackson, number 1 and number 2. We've seen it for long enough. They have the rushing upside, and I'm comfortable with their production over the last couple of years. They're in the elite tier. Then I have Richardson 3 because if you look at the last season, if you take out the game that he got injured, he was averaging 25 points per game, which is only second to Josh Allen. Like he was producing and he wasn't even tapping into his potential. Like in a Shane Steichen offense, who's going to be there, I think, for years. I think he's a really good coach. What he got out of Minshew, so I'm good with Richardson in that position. I take him over Mahomes easily, and you'd be able to get more for him. So Hurts, I put him there by default. I have him at 5. I think you're probably more right, Louis, because even though he's gotten that rushing production, a lot of it's based on that tush push and getting those touchdowns around the goal line. That's not sustainable. Stroud is also another interesting one that I have him at 6, and you have him much higher. I'll let him talk. You talk about him, but he is someone that I think had insane efficiency, or is going to really need to rely on his passing numbers, which he looks amazing. He looks great, but again, he's not a rushing quarterback. So I think that's what limits his upside. I have Murray at 7, Love at 8, Burrow at 9, and Herbert at 10. I did think about getting Caleb Williams in there, but I went conservative because I haven't seen him in the NFL and I don't know enough of him as a prospect yet. But really interesting to think about this, because I think beyond the first couple of guys, you really could have a list that could almost flip-flop from one end to the other.
Just before you guys, and Louis, I would love for you to talk about this. Ryan has, you have Burrow at 9. Louis, you have him right in the middle. So I would like to know why he's ranked so much higher for you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Burrow being up there a little bit is, for me personally, it's more about the guys behind him than it kind of is about him. I think Mahomes is I couldn't find him in my top 5 because he's aging out. Everybody else has like some serious questions with Rich with the injury. Herbert hasn't really looked good and doesn't have the rushing upside. I didn't even want to. I wanted to make a point, not even put Hurts in my top 10. I probably could have went. I mean, Ryan made a good point there. I mean, I see Kyler there at 9, and I'm like, I could have seen me putting Kyler at 5. Like, I think he's going to have a little bit of a bounce back in that offense. And not for nothing, there's going to be one guy that we're not even talking about right now, whether it be a rookie or some kind of weird free agent move or an injury that brings in somebody else. We're going to miss somebody big off of this list. But I do think this is like kind of the consensus top 10. I think our only difference is I have Caleb in there and you have
Jordan Love. And I do think that probably would be the swap. Just given what Love had a really good points per game last year. I think he also doesn't have that huge rushing upside, which is why maybe I'd move him behind Caleb. But I don't want to get too far into my projections on rookie quarterbacks before we get to them, because I think we're going to have some interesting discussions. Well, perfect time.
That's what she was talking about. So I mean, besides those top 2 guys, like is there anybody else?
Besides Caleb Williams and Drake May, who are you itching to see?
I am most excited to see Jalen Daniels out of LSU. I think that I would, right now, knowing everything that I know, I would take him in a draft over Drake May straight up. He has and he's actually going higher than him in early underdog best ball drafts. So he has a rushing upside. That's the same principle as like a Lamar Jackson. It's the same concept. Like, if you have the ability to run for let's say 500 yards in a season, even, like that's solid, because you're getting points much quicker than you would just from passing. So very excited to see him. As far as like a dynasty outlook on the QB class, I am also interested in Spencer Rattler and Travis Hunter. I think that, or is it Jordan Travis? Excuse me, Travis Hunter. I'm screwing that up. Jordan Travis out of FSU. And one other one, JJ McCarthy, just at ADP. So he's being, I think, very undervalued right now. I don't like him in real life based on what I've seen. I mean, he was very limited with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. But what intrigues me is that he's pretty much guaranteed to be a first round pick at this point. Like, he's talked about going in the top 10. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah just had him going, I think, 8th to Atlanta. And like, if he goes in top 10, top 12, top 15, he's probably going to start next year. And he'll be given every opportunity to succeed. And, he's a decision maker, right? He's not necessarily like the best arm strength guy, but he's got the decision making and the anticipation. So he intrigues me. And then the 2 Flyers, Spencer Rattler, he was a really high recruit. He was playing at Oklahoma for a while, and he was like supposed to be the next big thing. Kind of fell off, but he still has those raw traits. And then Travis is just kind of like a flyer. Has shown some. He played well, and I'm also a Keon Coleman guy, so I think maybe that's why I'm a little biased.
So you have about 15 very. That's good. That means there's a good draft coming up. So that's
3 quarterbacks.
I disagree, and I'll make this quick just so we can move on, because I think the next names are a little bit more important to talk about. But I like the top 2 guys. I'm Jaden Daniels too, as far as the guy outside of them. After that, I really hate this class. Like, I just don't think that there's going to be any other studs that come out of it. But I would still pick them. I would still rank them over guys like Carr, Russell Wilson, guys that only have like a year left. Like, I would still take any of those flyers on that next tier of guys, the JJ McCarthy, the what's named to the Bo Nick, like Penix Jr., whatever. I would take all 3 of those guys over that like aging veteran thing, but I just for upside, I don't expect much from them. So it's kind of.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you, there's 6 players whose values have changed. It's Fields, Cousins, Lawrence, Richardson, Watson's, Levis. Louis, what's your take on them? What are you thinking about for next season?
Yeah, I think those 6 names are pretty. They've all changed quite a bit. Fields, I think, is the best time to buy him right now. I'm just so over. I'm so over invested in him that I'll take a win right now. Like, it was looking bad, or that he might not, that they were just going to get rid of him. I think he goes to like a Pittsburgh and starts, or an Atlanta would be amazing and start. So I'm buying him everywhere. Cousins, I have no read. I imagine he's going to stay there and, put up another good year or two, but I'm not, I'm kind of neutral on him. Watson, I have zero investment in, and I think it's near zero what his value is right now. The other 3.
I have Fields, Cousins, Lawrence, Richardson, Watson's, Levis.
Yeah, Richardson's off the injury. I still want to buy onto his value, but it's scary. But if I'm dealing with a guy like Ryan who thinks he's the 3rd best quarterback in Dynasty, I'm obviously not buying him. So you might be able to buy him off of a guy that is worried about the injury. Levis, I think, is the most underrated quarterback right now. It's like people feel like he's got no value and he's not going to be their starter next year, but he's 100% going to be their starter next year. I don't see them drafting a better alternative or bringing one in. So I think Levis is the best purchase right now. And I don't know the other name, but I don't need to talk about it. Go ahead, Ryan.
Perfect. He's not even real.
Yeah. All right. Echoing a lot of points on Louis on Fields. I think that he's very likely to get a chance starting elsewhere. I actually think keep an eye on New England there. And that might sound not that interesting, but I kind of like the idea of Gerard Mayo taking over there and maybe kind of doing, kind of a big transition out of the Bill Belichick era into, modern day and maybe obviously it's less control in the front office. So I think that could work out. Maybe they draft Marvin Harrison to pair with them, and that's a pretty nice combo right there. I know you got offensive line issues, but so the next one, sorry, I'm looking at the list here. Cousins. Cousins is a really interesting buy to me, but I don't want to ever pay up for him because he's getting old. I mean, if a late second or 3rd gets it done in a super flex, I'd do it, but you're likely not getting him for that price. I do think he's going to go somewhere, and he's I think a pretty good fantasy quarterback for a passing offense if he goes somewhere and has a good weapon. So I'm probably not buying. After that, it's Lawrence. I think I'm kind of cold on him. I've soured on him a bit. I don't think he's going to be that elite dynasty asset like I thought he was going to be when he first came into the league. So I'm just kind of either holding or selling if I can get good value. Richardson, I do think he's going to be the next big thing. So if you can buy him right now, someone in your league is worried, or you can sell him on, the injury, and get off of someone like Kyler and actually probably get some, probably not get something with him, but Kyler plus, maybe you get that done. Watson, yeah, he's bottom barrel right now, but I'm either holding or buying for very, very cheap. And just hoping that you can kick the tire on that one more time. And Levis, I'm kind of in disagreement on Louis on this one because to me, Levis is just a guy. I don't think he's ever going to be anything more than just a guy. And even if it's a 1-year thing that you get him and you plug him in, I just don't see a long-term future for him. So I'd much rather have any of those later round rookie quarterbacks than him right now. And maybe that's an undervalue for me. But I'm kind of out on Levis.
Can't wait to tell him you said that.
Yeah. Not anybody's birthday party.
Listener, our dear friend Kyle has submitted.
He might be the only listener now because he's excited about excited about this question. He will have a segment starting or on his days that he's not
Saving
fighting fire, saving our lives. He'll have a segment, but he texted me that he couldn't make it since we switched the day, and I said, "Well, you don't get to." He goes, "But you still need to answer my questions." I said, "No." I said, "I'll do one. I'll do one if you want to send it in." So, Rye, this is what he's asking. He's asking Trevor Lawrence 112 and 27 for Kyler Murray and Ayuk.
For Kyler and Ayuk?
Yeah. So Lawrence late first, late-ish second, mid-second for
yes. I'm absolutely doing that if I'm getting Ayuk and Kyler. Yes.
I thought it was pretty even, and now I think I lean with you a little bit. I do have Kyler over T-Law now.
I think that's probably his question too, right? He's asking about giving up Lawrence and
right. I mean, I would imagine that what you're thinking, because I think Ayuk is over a 112 and 27 value, right?
Yes. I mean, think about that. Like, would you not? I mean, you're taking two dart throws. You're hoping that it turns into Ayuk, and Ayuk is now entering the prime of his wide receiver career. Like these are the years that you want to get this receiver right at the end of that rookie contract for the next 3 years. He's Diggs before he got to Buffalo. So yes, buy him if you can. And look, I think you're making a substantial jump from Lawrence to Murray. I mean, obviously I have him 7th? Yeah, Murray's my 7th, QB 7, and Lawrence is not even in my top 10. So you're moving up at least, I'd say, in my opinion, probably 7, 8 spots in QB for basically the price of, I mean, you're paying, it's free at that point. So yeah, I'd smash that easy.
Yep.
What a softball question from Kyle. Thanks, Kyle.
Rush to your app right now and accept that.
Yeah, you heard it here, Kyle.
I know Kyle. That's what he's doing.
This week's cats and dogs.
Trying to get our 2 boys ready to carry them to golf tournament before practice, right? 12 cats live across the road. Our door's open. Screen's broke. We need to get a new screen door, but the screen's broke. So you can come in through the screen, but you can't get back out of it. I turn and look, there's a little kitty cat in our kitchen. So I said, "What are you doing in here, little kitty cat?" By that time, the cat turns, tries to get back out. That screen won't go that way. Cat starts going, meow, all crazy. And I told our players, we need more dogs. Bo's barking in the back. I have to go shut Bo up. Mel's like, "What's going on?" I said, "There's a cat in the house." "Cat in the house?" I said, "Yeah, there's a cat in the house." So I told our players, I tried to let it out the front door. Meow, meow, the cat's still going crazy in there. And I told our players, you need to be more like a dog. We don't need a bunch of cats in here. Looking in the mirror. Do I look good? I got my extra bands on. I got my other shoes on. Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
I missed that video. If you're a Buffalo person listening, that guy, the coach, kind of looks like Rob Lederman. If you know who he is. But still great to see that video. Cats and dogs of this week. I have actually I have a cat and a dog this week. Should we all say both of them, or should we do one and then
do both? Do both.
I'll do both because you guys will have you'll put the Ryan clock on and I will go quick. This is going to be very controversial because it's coming from a lady, Hagen. But my dog is newly drafted Matt Ariza, aka Punt God. I think I heard rumblings in Buffalo that when his whole the whole case was going up against him, that it was, he didn't do anything. It was someone that was just trying to ruin his thing. It was like an ex, and that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, bad things happen. And also, unfortunately, people lie. And, what a terrible thing to have someone lie and ruin your career. And we all know that he had a really great records, 51.19 yards per punt, 39 punts of 50 plus yards, which is a record when he was in college, 18 punts of 60 plus yards, which is another record. He's really good. And I hate that he's no longer on the Bills, but I also hate that he even had a bad rumor about him. It's very wishy-washy, but you know what? since his name has been cleared and he is innocent, that he's my dog of the week. And then my cat, and then you guys can say how much bad of a person I am, is the noodle of all NFL players, suspended for 2 games next season, Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Jimmy G, come on. I mean, he's going to be a great second string quarterback. I'm just sick of his like smug little face being like, I'm suspended for 2 games. Yeah, like you're a noodle and I just can't handle it. Like you didn't even, I can't. He's going to be a great second string quarterback again, but this time not behind Tom Brady. He's going to be behind the guy that Louis doesn't even know his name, Levis. And
no, you know what they're going to do? It's going to be Tom Brady in the booth with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're just going to go for the best looking broadcast booth of all time. They're just going to be just too intense.
He's just such a noodle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess and yes, to echo your first point, you know, it is good that Matt Araiza is getting another opportunity. So good for him.
Yeah.
All right. So my cat is Aiden O'Connell. And so I kind of went a little bit of a deeper dive here. It's not necessarily that he's lost value, but I think he has, in the sense that it's very likely that he's going to get replaced, or at worst, they're going to bring in competition in the form of a draft pick. I think that's probably most likely, or a veteran. So he was average at best last year, I think. And I think Antonio Pierce, now that he has a full-time gig, he's going to want to find his franchise guy. And I just don't think that is Aiden O'Connell. He might be a nice backup, a journeyman backup, but I think you're going to have to try and upgrade that position. So I don't expect him to play 16 games. There's no question of that, in my opinion. So the Raiders are kind of scaring me for that. TikTok, yes. All right. Is that really that long? How long was that? 30 seconds? 45?
It's Allie finally realized what was going on.
I've been lagging, but it's just funny because
I'm like under pressure now. I'm like like looking up. I'm like seeing you guys like, you know, looking at me. No, I should speed up and stop talking about Aiden O'Connell.
No, it's not even, it's also that you are by trade an attorney, so this is costing us so much money for your
so much money. That's
so much money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So my dog is Drake London, and surprise, surprise, of course, Ryan goes back to the Falcons. But hear me out, okay? First, you have an upgrade to a competent coach, Raheem Morris. I think already you cannot get any worse than Arthur Smith, in my opinion. So now you have a competent coach and a coordinator, right, from LA, that we like what he did there. So you know, you're very likely, I think, also to get an upgrade at quarterback through the draft, or Fields, or someone, you know, Cousins. I mean, my God, Cousins in that offense, holy cow. And he, right when Raheem Morris came in, he was mentioning, you know, the key pieces of the offense. And the 2 names he mentioned were Bijan and Drake. And, you know, as much as that hurts for a Kyle Pitts truther, you know, I do think that those are going to be the mainstays of the offense, plus Pitts. You know, I'm not down on him, but look, you're buying into this offense again. You know, if I get fooled twice, you know, then I might be out, but I'm in again on Atlanta, and even at cost, because his price has gone up. You know, his ADP, I think, is like in the 40s, 30s, 40s, but I'm still taking that, and I'm betting that the Atlanta offense is really going to take that next step next year.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to go quick. My cat of the week is T. Higgins. I just think now all signs point to him staying in Cincy, and I was really excited about him getting out of there and getting a good opportunity elsewhere. I'm not saying that he won't still have his great seasons, but now you're playing on the franchise tag, second in that offense. There's going to be some Burrow, some Burrow time to get used to things off the injury. I think he was a loser this week, and that sucks. The dog, in reverse to that, I hate even saying this out loud because I don't think he's a good player, but Gabe Davis is, I think, the winner here since the season ended, with between the T. Higgins, and then there was Pittman looking like he's going to stay in Indy. Like, Gabe's going to go get money somewhere, and money means targets, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I feel like that's wrong, but I feel like he's going to really be a winner here out of all this.
I'm with you on T 100%. He actually was almost my choice before I landed on Aiden O'Connell. But I'm not with you on Gabe, only because I still think the problem is that he's Gabe Davis. And like, look, I know he's a good, maybe, wide receiver 2 to 3 for fantasy purposes, right? That's his range, low end 2 to high end 3. But I just don't think he's going to, even if he gets a majority of the targets, I just don't see him being, a world beater. But we'll see. Time will tell. Maybe if I have him somewhere, I'm going to sell him to you for sure.
He's not dependable. Just saying that. All right. Louis, do you want to tell everyone why we are doing this next draft?
I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason. When we were doing research here today, JJ McCarthy was one of the guys that I thought we would talk about a little bit more, but I hate him, and Ryan Ryan talked about him a couple minutes. But just doing the research for the show, I was like, it's actually a pretty cool idea, because then it starts bringing you to, it's not something you can like Google. The three of us we really had to use our brains today about the best. And I don't even know how to word this. Initial names, so like the CJs and the TJs of the world, and all those JJs and all those guys. What if we drafted them and try to get the best team? So I like the idea. I don't care if you guys don't, because this is what I prepared for. And now I will do the draft order.
So nice.
And go ahead.
No, I feel more prepared this week than our previous draft. Do you know who won our last drafts, or did you?
The last two have not been, because I was behind. So nope, the last. I actually think I won the last one. That
the one that you just said, I forgot to even post it. Okay.
No, I mean the last one that did post. We were behind on some polls. Just sorry.
The last one that you posted was like the group versus the Go Bills guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Gabe Davis was still actively playing on the
No. Maybe, possibly. Yes, everybody shut up.
Okay.
All right, so I got the first pick for a change.
Oh, that's nice.
And then Allie, and then Ryan. So
I like that. I want them.
So then we go back and forth. All right. The first pick of this draft, I think, is maybe easy. I don't know. I gotta go AC Slater. I just can't not get AC Slater in this draft. So I'm gonna go 101 AC Slater and be happy about it.
All right, that was not even on my list. So
well, your list sucks. All right.
I'm gonna go with an initial name, Jay Peterman from Seinfeld.
Nice.
Okay,
that's a great pick.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
I just realized that I am absolutely going to be breaking the rules of this initial draft, because I have a very, very liberal interpretation of initials. So my first pick is going to be R2D2. I think that counts, right?
I don't think that's horrible. I think that's good. I think that's good. I think that could qualify.
It speaks for itself. Probably the second or third best. I mean, maybe third, top 5. You can't give them top 3. Maybe, Yoda, Baby Yoda, characters.
Star Wars. Never seen any of the movies. Not one.
Really?
Not even the original.
Yeah, wow. Louis had sex before. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I really could have saved R2D2 for a while. My next pick is Notorious B.I.G. I think that counts, right?
I like
All
that.
All right. I feel like I'm going to be breaking rules, but I guess that counts. So.
You know what? I almost wanted to straighten you guys out to the straightener, but I like that the best part about this is having a weird interpretation, and I like
it.
So
all right, it works. Okay, so I mean, I'm just trying to pigeonhole the best characters or people into my team. So however I do it, right? So
I like it.
Great picks. So I'm going to pick one of my celebrity crushes growing up, and it was the most age appropriate crush I ever had in my life, and that is Jonathan Taylor Thomas or JTT.
That's good.
All
That's
right,
good.
you and Chanel are going to be best friends because she mentioned that earlier, and she's like, "How could you not take JTT?" I'm like, "Because I didn't have a crush on that guy." I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not taking him.
He was on my list, but I knew Allie would have gotten there before him.
Very, very good taste, Chanel. There you go.
I would really love to go 6 rounds here, but we'll talk about that after we get the 4. Because there's a lot here. But I got to take two here. The 2 I'm going to take are O.J. Simpson, Orenthal James Simpson. I don't. Hey, if you guys could pump up a friggin' rapist earlier, I'm joking.
No!
I'm joking. I know he wasn't. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm a I was gonna say sorry, I'm a feminist. You stole my line. No,
first.
I get it. I know. I was just joking.
I know.
Orenthal James Simpson. He was a hell of a running back. And still kind of a really funny interview. I don't know if you like his Twitter is one of my favorites. And then I'm gonna go a little bit off board here, a little bit Brian style. I'm gonna go E.T. Huh?
Oh, good one.
That's a good
really
one.
Good one. That's a great pick. Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would say picks of the draft so far have been E.T. and Allie's first pick.
Oh, look at that.
Jay Peterman. All right.
Yeah.
Elaine. All right. I have ones that I know you guys will not pick, so I will save that just in case. But I'm gonna go with one of my favorite authors. Not one of my favorite authors growing up, which made me fall in love with reading. F. Scott Fitzgerald.
I like it.
All right.
Right for 2.
Me for 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go MJ. And do I get both MJs or do I have to?
That's why I personally left it off. And because you ask 10 people, I think 5 people are going to think you're talking about Michael Jackson, and 5 people are going to think you're talking about.
And also, Shaws of Sunset, MJ. Where's Chanel when I need her? All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she probably would know what you're talking about. It was a different language to me.
I think it's so half and half that I didn't go with it personally. If you're already cheating. We might as well let you cheat again. But I feel like you got to pick one.
Yeah, which one are you going?
What if I have 2 picks, don't I?
That would be great. It would be a power move.
I'm going to take Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan. I mean, come on.
Okay.
You
all right?
That's great.
I'm making you do both picks, but that's fine. I like it.
Fine.
I don't hate that.
Oh, okay. So then I'm gonna go. Since you're tugging at all the guys' heartstrings, I'm gonna continue that and go with DJ Tanner.
Damn it! That's my next pick.
Oh, phew! What? I can't wait till my next pick if we keep going because you guys would be like, ew, and so I'm glad you have to go.
I'm begging that we go to 6 rounds for this. Come on.
Yeah, we'll go 6 rounds. It's fine. We're doing good with time too. DJ ugliest Tanner for sure. Can we say that? No.
Is it because? Why?
Why? Because Stephanie's so hot now. She wasn't hot back then, but oh my God.
I have a terrible story where my cousin was in a relationship with a gentleman for 13 years and he cheated on her with Stephanie Tanner in Vegas and broke them up.
I'm so sorry for your cousin, but
he's probably like, yes, I know. But she's in a happy relationship now. It was years ago. But I was like,
what if they had like a list, like the hall pass list, but like she wasn't on it, and like he tried to it's just like the NFL trade deadline. Like he's kind of like,
he's like, I'm making a change.
Yeah, he was like submitting it to his agent like right before. He was like, fuck, like come on, I got her on the list.
Like the one Friends episode, it's not laminated.
Yeah, that's I mean, I'm sure that's like, yeah.
That is so fucking funny. I'm not about your cousin. I'm sorry if your cousin's a listener, but that is funny. She's
Single
and the Olsen twins are actually ugly now. I actually think
Oh,
Stephanie.
I think they're cute.
Well, they're dwindling away. Are they? Did they get their food intake back together?
Guys like only would talk to women that looked hungry for years, and now you can't. No, they're so cute. They're like, no, they're beautiful and lovely, and still like wear like cashmere to spin classes. They're so weird.
How funny would it be like if one of them still got like an acting, they both still show up, like they both still swapped apart.
Wait, what if they are actually Kyle and they like wrote in that question? And
I'm not with anybody, but I'm cheating with Stephanie. If Stephanie was the one, I'm the one. I will cheat if I was with somebody.
Okay.
I hope Stephanie Tanner is the one that messaged us.
You can have to go to Vegas. Politics.
All right, that was great. That was good. You screwed me up by taking it. Yeah. I'm gonna go P.T. Barnum here just because of everything he brought to the world in lieu of circuses, and I think he did some other stuff, but mostly the elephants that I got to see crap on the floor. I know PETA is against it now, right? There's no circuses anymore.
I have a story about him too, but I won't. Somebody
go on, tell the story about P.T. Barnum.
My great uncle Charles, and he was friends with P.T. Barnum. Yes, he was an early adopter of living in Philadelphia, and was the first person to have a closet of curiosity in the United States, which is what a living museum is basically. Charles Huffnagel, my great uncle, friends with P.T. Barnum.
The closet of curiosity sounds like a dorm room.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, you're right. So that's a great pick. That's very high and inside. I like that. That was a good one.
All right, P.T. Barnum, and then I will go with. I need a musician here. I'm gonna go B.B. King.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. So I think that's my fourth and fifth picks, and you guys are in your fifth, right? Is that true? Is that right? All right, go ahead.
So I'm gonna do a nice speaking of DJ Tanner, J.R.R. Tolkien. Huh?
Oh, that was good. It was on my list.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice Middle Earth.
Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Still didn't see any of those movies, but
yep, not my cup of tea.
See, that's my show. I like it.
I've told you guys why I don't watch any of those type of movies, right? Like anything sci-fi, because I don't watch anything. I don't watch that stuff for the same reason why I don't watch like porn with hot girls. Like I want to believe it could happen in real life. Like anything that I can't believe could actually happen, I can't watch and enjoy it. So that's why I get like that's why I watch the,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I almost said something and I said, all right.
So my fifth pick, everyone talks about, MJ versus LeBron. Well, why not have them both? Because I'm going to take LBJ. So I get Michael Jordan, LeBron, Michael Jackson, R2D2, and Notorious B.I.G. That's a great start. I'm definitely bending the rules, but whatever. And then finally, for my last pick, I do think this counts because, I'm just going to say it. Samuel L. Jackson, right? That counts.
Does not count.
That does not count.
That does not count?
No. It's got to be,
Sammy J or, Sam Jackson. You always
it would be if he was SL Jackson. If he was SL, everybody was like, yo, what's up, SL?
All right, then fine. Then I'm just going to go Dr. J. I took him in an earlier draft. I think it was a doctor draft that we did, right? Dr. J counts. So no, it doesn't.
I'll take Dr. J. You're saying? Dr. J.
It's an initial.
Dr. J. I say pass it because doctor's also Dr. and then J. Okay. I would say Dr. J.
All right. I'll do.
It's a double initial.
Look at how pissed Ryan looks.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't believe I got shut down on Samuel L. Jackson. It's an initial. Who calls him Samuel Jackson? Somebody you talk Samuel Jackson. You're like, who the hell is that?
Put the ticker on. Ryan's Arkansas.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna back. All right. Yeah. Good thought.
All right. Go ahead, Allie. Your last pick.
My last pick, and this is because you're with Ryan explaining something a little bit different. I'm going to now go a little off the beaten path, and I'm going to pick SNL.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Really?
Wait,
You'll love me.
wait. Initial name. We're talking people.
It is a name. It's a noun. Huh?
Or
Yeah,
things.
you didn't do many people. You can be all the
Samuel L.
You gotta do
Jackson.
people.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I have 40.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go do something different. I like your try. You both got vetoed this round.
Well, then can we
Don't
also
worry, we've got
retroactively veto E.T.? E.T.'s not a person. He's an extraterrestrial.
He has a heart.
No, I've never seen that movie completely. I'm gonna go.
That's when I fell in love with Drew Barrymore.
Ew, she was like 6.
But so was I. It was totally fine.
Okay.
We were the same age.
I'm gonna go with okay, hear me out, everyone. AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys. Because if you think about the guy now, he's like so embarrassing that like anyone ever liked him, and like he had just like they haven't. Okay, this is not going on the poll that will never be posted anyway. But so the Backstreet Boys, like Howie was always the least cutest, and now he has aged so well. He's the only one that looks great, and everyone looks bad. And like AJ, he was like, "Oh, I've got cool tattoos," but really it was just like a tribal band tattoo, and then like a star. So like, is that cool? But like, yeah. And Bad Boy is a guy that wears Jinkos and has a goatee like in the 90s. It's so crazy. There
I
you
love
go.
that you picked him and then shit on him for 5 minutes. You were like, "This guy's on my team. He sucks."
I had another one that is also an NSYNC member, if you know who I'm talking about.
Louis is usually like the least descriptive on these polls, but for AJ, he's gonna just like put like his exact tattoo pattern up there, and like so that you have the opportunity to vote on that.
It's not yeah.
Before I close this out, I will run through some of the ones we didn't say instead of doing it after. DL Hewley, CC Sabathia, DJ Connor, BJ Armstrong, the former Bull, TJ Hawkinson, TJ Who's Your Mama? Remember him? Who's Mazada? They would have been good. TJ Oshie, I have such a crush on Oshie from the Olympics where he scored 7 times in that one shootout, which was great. TJ Hooker from TV, AJ Epinesa, local Bills guy, AJ Hawk, AJ Soprano, AJ Green was the best NFL player probably, JJ Watt, another great one. But I'm gonna go
TJ Watt.
I'm going to pander to our local crowd, which Ryan usually does. I purposely waited till the end because I thought you would take this guy. I'm going to go with RJ. Rick Jenneret, God rest his soul. But everybody in Buffalo knows when you say RJ who you're talking.
That's an oversight on my
part. Do we want to let him go? Because it's really Rick Jenneret.
It's RJ, though. If you say RJ, you know everybody in Buffalo knows who RJ is. Now, if I go to Vegas and say RJ, then I'm gonna meet some.
Ryan,
I honestly thought for a second you were gonna go with JJ Zacharyson.
That would have been great. That would have been really funny. That
is a great pick. I mean, RJ. I mean that should have been picked.
Classic.
That was an oversight. Good pick.
I regret not picking DW from Arthur, so that was my other one. So, but, going up against Michael Jordan and Jackson with DW.
No, looking at my notes, it is very clear that I did not understand the assignment. So I'm sorry.
I think
JJ Abrams, the other one, JC Chazé, I had, and JJ Watt. But all right, this was a really great draft. A lot of sports talk for a non-sports week, so that's good. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. We will see you again. Thank you for listening to Analytics Are for the Nerds.